Spirit Sports Consultants presents
we think is the best football weekend of the year, and that's the NFL Divisional Playoffs. Got really four good matchups. One you did not see coming, and the others are going to be awesome. We look at the AFC first. We look at my Texans going at Baltimore. Raise your hand right now if you saw the Texans making the divisional round when the season started. That would not even include us. So no way. Now this is a matchup we've all seen. Looking forward to this rematch. It seems like it's a playoff staple for the past 3 to 4 years, but this time the game's in Buffalo. Chiefs went on the road. The Bills seem to be playing at a high level. Chiefs looked a lot better against the Dolphins, but that's not necessarily fair. Dolphins were not going to do good in a cold environment. Now let's look at the NFC, the surprising Buccaneers, who I've been slow to pick all year, and so is the whole team. And then look at the Packers going at the 49ers with that huge upset victory over Dallas. Are they going to have a letdown here? Hopefully that wasn't the peak of their season. They can carry it forward on the road against the number one seed 49ers. Let's start with the Texans at the Ravens. Again, disclaimer, we are Texans fans. There may be some bias here. Take that into consideration. But what you have to consider is the level at which CJ Stroud has been playing. The Texans really are a completely different team than when these two teams faced off in week one of the NFL season. We think that the Texans were like 14-point underdogs. It was double digits. Not sure how high. They shouldn't be that much of an underdog this time. Looking at CJ Stroud, he leads the league in lowest percentage of interceptions. Not playing like a typical rookie. Could be in the MVP conversation had he not missed 2 games. Looking at the defense, you got Will Anderson Jr. also being a dominant force on that D line, and their cornerbacks are healthy. You got Stingley playing really well, so they could give Lamar Jackson a little bit of trouble. Let's see how they do. We're looking forward to a really good game on their side, as well as the Ravens, who we think are the best team in the NFL. Really, with Lamar Jackson throwing the ball better than he ever has, better offense designed for a good balance, and of course he's the dual threat. He can run whenever. I think the Texans defense are going to be up to the challenge, but ultimately the talent is just too strong on the Baltimore side. We think in absence of a few turnovers that they should be able to outperform the Texans, and therefore we predict that they will take it in a closer game than people think. We like the Ravens here 24-17 over the upstart Texans, but bright future for the Texans for the next couple of years under CJ Stroud's leadership. Next, let's move to the NFC to take a look at the Bucs at the Lions. Congratulations to the Lions for their first playoff victory in I think it was 32 years. Dan Campbell has really done a great job with that team. What a motivator. But that game was tough. Looking at the Lions against the Rams easily could have won that game. And not to hate on Lions fans, but that one no call pass interference, man, really, Matthew Stafford played a heck of a game. But let's look at what the Bucs did hosting the Eagles, who unbelievably went from 10-1 to finish at 11-7. You got to focus first on Baker's career year. That guy's really motivating that team and leading. Got them all kind of rallying around him. And then on the defensive side, let's not overlook Todd Bowles, former defensive coordinator for the Super Bowl champions, leading that pass rush. Unbelievable design. Could give Jared Goff some issues. Looking at the Lions, as we said, the first playoff win in 30-plus years. Ford Field is an electric home environment. I've been to 3 games there, and it really is nuts. They love being loud, causing false starts. It's tough to play there, so we think there could be a risk of a Lions letdown. After that big playoff victory, we don't think that's going to really affect them all that much. We think Jared Goff should be able to take advantage of that Bucs defense, which is better stopping the run than it is stopping the pass. We think this game's going to be close. I think Mayfield may be able to score some points on some long passes against that vulnerable Lions secondary, but ultimately we like the Lions here, 31-27 over the Bucs. Next, we got the Packers at the 49ers. Man, the Packers with that unbelievable dominant victory over the Cowboys in Jerry World. Boy, I don't know that many quarterbacks look better than Jordan Love looked in that game. And as we gave CJ Stroud a lot of props for what he's done this season, look at what Jordan Love has done in the second half of the season. I don't have his stats in front of me. I think it's something like 19 to 20 touchdowns to 1 INT. So again, with that elite level play, he's definitely not playing like a first-year starter at all. Now for the pass defense, now that Jair Alexander is back and healthy, if you go back and look at that Dallas game, the interception he made was an unbelievable play. That pass defense has been leading the league in the top 5 all year. We think that could be able to slow down Brock Purdy a little bit, maybe generate a couple of INTs. That's the one thing that we think Kyle Shanahan's going to try to avoid, learning his lessons from that Baltimore game. I think you're going to see a focus on Christian McCaffrey in that run game, the goal being keeping Jordan Love on the sideline. And then on the defensive side of the ball with Nick Bosa and that pass rush and their really great run defense, allowing fewer than 100 yards per game, we won't see Aaron Jones being able to run out those runs like we did against the Cowboys for those reasons. And the divisional advantage tends to go to the home team here, especially the rested 1 seed. We like the 49ers 28-21, but look out for the Packers in the years to come. With no disrespect to the other matchups on divisional weekend, we think this is the heavyweight title bout. Chiefs at the Bills, two teams that have been dominant for the past several years. Obviously, the defending champions here going against a team that's playing a little bit better with Josh Allen and, of course, Patrick Mahomes. We know what he can do. Let's look first at what the Chiefs have. The first factor you have to comment on looking at the Chiefs is how limited their offense is compared to prior Chiefs teams. You still have Patrick Mahomes, and you never know what he can do to the positive. But secondarily, Chiefs have a top 3 defense in the NFL with a cornerback Snead being able to jam the top receiver, in this case Stephon Diggs, and then Chris Jones leading that pass rush. I think they're going to be able to hold Josh Allen in check a little bit. Let's look at the Bills, and we know Josh Allen has had an elite level of play, especially in the past 5 to 6 games, looking really good. But which Josh Allen shows up? The dominant running, dual threat, or the turnover-prone quarterback? And the injuries to the secondary really concern us in this one going against Patrick Mahomes. You have weakness at cornerback. So when we look at this game, this one really bothers us because we're looking at the Bills and what a second half they've had. But we also think about what happened to the Dolphins, peaking at the wrong time. Really great early, tough injuries late to the defensive line, costing some games, bad playoff seedings. We think the same thing happens here to the Bills. We don't want to pick it. We don't want to see a popular celebrity anymore. We're tired of that. We think it's the Chiefs here in a close one, 24-21. Sorry, Bills Mafia. We don't like this pick, but this is what we're going with.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.